Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the second part to What If Goku Became a Demon. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Goku continues looking down and starts feeling not just sadness, but a sense of fear when he thinks about the man by his side. He looks on at the scene with this odd creepy smile, and his hair is also slowly flowing as the massacre happens. Just as Goku feels like he couldn't wait any longer, he is freed. Shooting himself down, he lands on the ground and cracks it from how fast he's descended. Landing, his muscles are popping more than they usually did, and his eyes flash red as he looks up to meet Frieza's own. Frieza has a Dragon Ball in his hand and hurls it into the distance before dusting off his hands. "I wonder why you just kept on looking at me. Too scared to face me?" Frieza asks, making sure to stay at a range as he says this. Even if he wants to act confidently and convince himself Goku is scared, he just saw how strong Goku is. Goku looks down to his body and feels like he has gotten even stronger than he just was. It feels different though, like he's changed in some way. One thing that has changed about him is that his skin has gotten slightly lighter than what it was. Not only that, Frieza can feel this aura surrounding him, this intense pressure that exudes from him as he stood there. Stepping forward, he feels his body almost stop him from moving forward. "What is this? I'm not scared of this thing, no way," Frieza exclaims, before preparing to fly forward. He brings himself to doing so, but then sees the ground ahead of him quaking. Goku looks down with confusion, then looks up to see that time has frozen. "Let me show you what I have to offer you, Goku. You saved lives and now I'll thank you for it," the Saiyan says from beside him before vanishing. From beyond the grave, two grass and mud covered corpses come from the dirt. These are the corpses of Zarbon and Vegeta. They resemble zombies in their appearance, with some parts of their skin ripped open and revealing the decayed flesh below. They're stood side by side and standing totally still. "What is this?" Goku asks, almost terrified by them. "They're your minions now, your army. Tell them what they must do and they'll do it for you." Just like that, he speaks. "This is so creepy," Goku replies. He's really starting to regret signing his soul away to this guy. He doesn't want to use the power of the dead. Why did he fall into this guy's trap? Don't worry, this is the power that you need to save people. It might not be pretty, it might not be flashy, but this is how you save lives, Goku. Real lives, he claims, before vanishing for the second time in this short event. Zarbon and Vegeta turn to Goku before kneeling and keeping their heads down. "What is your order?" they both ask, with demonic ghoulish voices. They sound somewhat like how they did when they were alive, but their voices now resemble that of the undead. "Take him out," Goku says, pointing to Frieza. Now Frieza can't move. Not only does he feel this weird pressure, but what are these odd creatures? These demons that look like true abominations of nature. Of course he saw Goku kill Zarbon, but he didn't know that he'd killed Vegeta. "Well, turns out your prince title didn't mean anything, did it, Vegeta?" he says, staring into Vegeta's eyes. Before you can do anything, the two zombie-like creatures power up and start getting engulfed in a weird red energy. Their eyes glow the same red colour that Goku's does, and their power levels start skyrocketing past the levels their ordinary bodies were capable of. Zarbon is in his transformed state and has a power level of 1 million, with Vegeta's at 600,000. The two creatures fire off toward Frieza, with Vegeta launching a ki blast right at him. He takes the attack and then realizes that these two fighters are nothing compared to him. As Zarbon reaches out one of his mammoth hands to try and grab him, he swats the arm away and in this same motion slices straight through it. It severs the arm and Zarbon is sent sliding to the side. However, the arm regenerates in an instant and it was like the injury was never even there. The separated forearm of Zarbon then starts to steam with black energy and vanish into nothing at all. "What is this?" Frieza asks himself, before catching Vegeta's next punch. The force makes Vegeta stop right in place and Frieza can take all the impact force with ease. He's currently 100 times stronger than Vegeta, so there's nothing that will happen here. He snaps Vegeta's arm and breaks it, even revealing his broken bone under his dead flesh. However, he doesn't even react and just takes back his arm before snapping it back in place. In the very next moment, healing takes place that connects his arm together fully. Smirking, he fires off yet again and Frieza continues getting harassed by these zombie soldiers. To be honest, it's no challenge for him, but he just continues thinking about this Saiyan's powers. He's never seen anyone with the ability to resurrect the dead and make them fight according to his will. Not only that, but he can tell that they're stronger than they ever were during their own lifetimes. Frieza is getting tired of this fight and just steps back a great deal. Zarbon and Vegeta charge forward, shouting with their undead demonic voices. There's a screech as an undertone to their shout, and as they advance, Frieza unleashes a full power energy wave from both hands. They engulf the fighters, and he roars and puts as much power into the blasts as he can. After breaking their bones, severing their limbs, punching through their bodies, they just continue to come back. However, as the smoke around the ground fades, all that is left is black smoke around where they were before the blast impacted them. The smoke soon disappears, only leaving the greyer smoke from the blast. Goku just fires forward himself, taking over the fight. He punches Frieza in his neck and almost breaks his spine from this single attack. Frieza is sent flying back and slams into a mountain. The impact makes him cough blood, then really makes him think. All he can see in his view is this Saiyan hurtling toward him at full throttle. He's leaving a large trail of dust behind him as he flies forward, and his fists are aimed straight for him. Now there's nothing he can do at all. He feels a sharp hot pain in his back and can already feel blood pooling up in his mouth. Either he can fight and most likely die, or run. Run from this demon and save himself. Leaping out the way of Goku's attack, he swings dust into his eyes using his tail. Goku is caught by this perfectly and shouts in pain. "Come back, Frieza, I didn't think you'd stoop this low to play this game," Goku roars, wiping his eyes with anger. Frieza flies off as fast as he possibly can and flies directly upwards. In a flash, he's in outer space and continues to fly away as fast as he can. He doesn't even look back once when doing so. No words fly through his mind. All he cares about is getting as far away from that Saiyan as he can. Goku opens his eyes to see no Frieza at all. Trying to sense his ki, he can see that he's completely gone as well. Where did he go? Looks like he was too scared to face me. I hope I've scared him out of doing anything else in the future, Goku thinks, looking up. You think people like him change? The Saiyan asks, standing beside him. Goku just doesn't reply before walking away from him. He doesn't want to see that man again. He's changed him, darkened him. It feels weird, but he can tell that something is there inside of him, this impurity. You think you can let him survive? He's evil incarnate, no matter where he goes, no matter what he does, the man says, before Goku's body freezes in place. He will always return to his instincts, he says. He frees his body and Goku cowers away from him while shouting. Get away from me. You let so many people die in front of me. You're evil yourself, Goku roars. Don't let your emotions get in the way of what you know is truly right, Goku. You have to get rid of those that hurt others, and you need to save as many lives as possible. This is what I've shown you, this is what I've told you. It might not be pretty, but do you not want to be a hero? This is what a hero does. This is what is good. Goku stops and reasons through what he said. It makes sense. Did he really save lives? Did he actually make sure more people lived by letting those die? Fine, is all Goku says in response, before flying off. He can tell that time is still frozen for a decent amount of time in his flight, but he soon sees the clouds around him moving. The man has left him alone for now, and he arrives back at his base with the Dragon Ball that Frieza had tried to throw away. In this trip, he's managed to scare away Frieza and get 2 more Dragon Balls. Goku, you're back, Krillin says, as he returns. Goku lands back on the ground ahead of him, and Krillin just takes this time to look at his new muscular physique. It's even more impressive than what he once remembered, and he sees that Goku is a decent bit taller than he remembered him to be as well. I am. Let's wish back our friend so we can get out of here, Goku says, placing the balls on the ground. Now, Krillin can feel that something has changed. There's this weird darkness around him, this pressure. What is it? Goku asks, seeing him just stare at him while not moving at all. Krillin jumps upon hearing him speak before just shaking his head and awkwardly laughing. Sorry, I was just stuck in a trance there. Yeah, let's revive our friends, he replies, finishing off his statement with another awkward chuckle. Did you beat Frieza? Krillin asks, as he starts to gather the Dragon Balls they already have. I didn't, but you ran off. He won't be a threat any longer, Goku comments, as he grabs another Dragon Ball. The two then summon the Dragon Purunga, only to see that they need an Namekian to speak his language. Flying off into the distance in search of one, Krillin sees a massacred village, with what looks like 100 Namekian corpses all strewn across the floor. Who did that? Was that Frieza? Krillin asks, stopping with shock. It was. Come on, there won't be any Namekians there, Goku says, getting ready to fly off. Now Krillin gives Goku this look of concern as he begins to fly off. The Goku he knows will not be able to look at such a scene and just fly off like there was nothing there at all. Shaking his head, he flies after him and catches back up to him, where they arrive at another village that seems to be doing quite well. With that, they wish for their friends to be revived, and this pretty much brings an end to the saga. Their friends are alive back on Earth and they head home soon after. Everyone is pleased to be reunited together, and Krillin can see that he's just as happy as he'd expect. Maybe it was all in his head. Goku seems quite bubbly and cheerful upon arriving back on Earth, so maybe it was just a new atmosphere. Anyway, Krillin puts those thoughts behind him as peace is upon them again. During this year, Goku does some light training but just spends time figuring out these new powers of his, so he can control the bodies of those he has killed with his own hands. As for Raditz, he can't summon him no matter how hard he tries, because it was Piccolo that killed him and not himself. However, as he tries to revive Zarbon and Dodoria, their bodies are revealed out of nowhere. They are decayed, deathly corpses physically, but are incredibly powerful, and he finds that they do get stronger as he does. They aren't as strong as him, nowhere near, but he attributes this to the fact that they weren't that strong when they were alive. It makes him think about what would happen if he were to kill Frieza and use his body in this form. It would be fitting for a man like him, so that he could actually use his power for a good cause. It's too bad that he's nowhere to be found, and it seems he's gone so far that he can't even sense his ki. The whole year passes, and future Trunks arrives from the past as Frieza returns with his father and King Cold. Frieza spent a long time just rogue and away from his duties. He didn't want to be seen in this state of mind, crippled by fear from a Saiyan. However, he got by, just thinking about how to get back at Goku and take revenge. Future Trunks can't even rush in there to try and take him down. Instead, Goku is there to face him first, just as he had predicted. He awaits their defeat by just stepping down and crossing his legs, suppressing his ki so that he isn't found just yet. He doesn't want to be found out before it's necessary. "I thought you'd be too scared to ever show your face here," Goku shouts, making Frieza's eye twitch. However, he doesn't want to show these words have affected him in front of his father. Instead, he just chuckles and crosses his arms. "That was me in the past. Let me tell you that things have changed," Frieza states. He hasn't let anyone know this, but he's trained. Yep, Frieza has actually gotten down and trained. Now, he doesn't have the motivation of literally getting killed and sent to hell to come back and get revenge, but he is just annoyed at being scared of that saying so much. So with that motivation and the discipline he's acquired by basically just overseeing the Empire and not doing much himself, he trains for a good week or so before he is burnt out. This isn't heavy training either, but very heavy for Frieza's standards. Even after this short period, Frieza's power level skyrockets up to 850 million. Cracking his knuckles, he feels like he has this fight in the bag. He soars off toward Goku with a power level of 425 million as he uses 50%. Even King Cold smiles upon seeing how much faster his son has become. Swinging his tail at Goku, he lands a clean shot and slingshots him away. Frieza isn't done though. He fires off toward him again, grabbing him by the neck to slam him down forcefully. Goku grunts in pain, feeling his voice box crush under the impact. Frieza feels overcome by emotion upon seeing himself in this position. With Goku under his hand, coughing blood and in agony. He's done this. He's the stronger one now. He throws down haymaker after haymaker, screaming with each punch. He lets out every pent-up bit of anger and rage that he's felt during this year. The numerous times he thought back to running from Goku, a Saiyan, running. All he knows is that won't happen again. Future Trunks is now on his feet as he watches from afar. This is not how he was expecting this to go. Does Goku even have Super Saiyan, and if he does, why is he not using it? As he throws down another punch though, he sees a golden aura ki covering the hand that grabs onto his own. Goku fires up into Super Saiyan as the blood on his body flies off from this outburst of ki. His muscles buff up and he looks like a true menace as he towers over Frieza. Grabbing him by the neck, there's nothing he can do. Frieza even latches onto him with his tail, but he just can't manage to free himself. He grabs onto his arm of his and hurls it away before grabbing him by the neck. He went in to latch onto his neck in almost an instant. He almost was impossible to see as he moved. Goku then kicks him in the chest as hard as he can, not even letting him escape. Frieza then grabs onto his arm with his two hands, trying to push him off, but he just can't. He continues to kick and kick at his chest, slowly walking forwards. "Look at you, pure evil. I scared you away, but that instinct inside you drew you back to cause more mayhem, more destruction," Goku comments. As he walks forward, something very odd happens. His golden aura begins to darken and blooded. It turns to the same scarlet colour of his eyes, and this makes Future Trunks intrigued. Is this a power that he's not aware of? Probably. From what he's heard about Goku, he was a man of many tricks. Goku headbutts Frieza repeatedly and relentlessly before grabbing onto his tail to continuously swing him overhead. Those watching are almost scared by Goku's brutality. Just what did this guy do to make Goku act in this way? Krillin can see that his thoughts weren't off. Something really did change. Goku then swings him around before hurling him into King Cold, making the large fighter fall onto his bottom. "If you want to challenge me too, then do it. I'm not scared," Goku states, beckoning the large fighter in. Just judging from the hit of his son's head into his chest, he starts to realise that fighting this guy might not be the best option. Standing back up, he rubs his chest before coughing. He assumes this to just be some random cough until he looks down and sees blood in his mammoth hand. Whoa, from this saying, Goku just wants to take this man out himself and fires off at full speed to drive his hand straight through his chest. King Cold has only a few seconds to look at this glowing red Saiyan being filled with fear and agony as his last two sensations before he takes his final breath. Goku rips his hand out to let his body fall onto Frieza, who strugglingly frees himself from under him. Just like before, he runs off with his tail between his legs, leaving his dead father there and saving himself from certain death. Goku just turns, trying to shake off the blood on his arm before he sees time has frozen. "Why did you kill that man?" the Saiyan asks, with his arms crossed. "He was related to Frieza, I could see. I think he was his father. I'm sure the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree," Goku replies, trying to wipe the blood from his hand. It just feels off-putting to have this constant reminder of what he's just done. He starts to feel this guilt, but tells himself that no, he was supposed to do that to save those around him. "You didn't know that though. You killed an innocent life." Goku flies straight toward him, now facing him directly. "I didn't kill an innocent life. You heard Frieza talking about killing me and only had a smile to give. Don't tell me that he wasn't evil," Goku roars. The man just lifts a finger to Goku's forehead, flicking it. The power behind this strike is immense and leaves Goku flying away at full pelt. He's sent rolling and flipping through this wasteland before he finally comes to a stop at least 500 meters away. He's still left dazed from what's happened, trying to get his mind back to what's happening now. "I'm only stating what I saw, no need to get all aggressive on me, Saiyan," he states, before vanishing into nothing. Instead of waking up in that position, he returns to that very same moment where he was just before he arrived. The Saiyan arrived. He was walking and suddenly stops, touching his head. It's a little weird to those watching, but he just continues to walk toward the group as if nothing happened, before he meets future Trunks, who is stood before him. He has his little spar with Goku, and this time the Saiyan isn't as kind and light as he was in canon. As Trunks runs straight at him, he punches him in the face and sends him flying back. He ends up hitting his head on the ground and passes out for a short while before slowly waking up and being helped up by some of Goku's friends. This moment makes the others shocked. Why would he just fully sock this kid out of nowhere? "I'm sorry man, I did hold back," Goku says, somewhat sorry for what he did. "I mean, it wasn't his fault. He didn't know that he was going to be much weaker than him." "Goku, come on, why would you go so hard on him?" Krillin asks, now getting slightly irritated of his new attitude. When Goku sees these concerned faces falling upon future Trunks and Goku, it makes him feel ostracized from the group. "Sorry Trunks," Goku says, wiping his head with a light awkward chuckle. He soon stands, feeling out his jaw before shaking his head. "No, don't worry, it's fine," he replies, before readying himself to get Goku involved with what's about to happen. The androids. This leads the people all to begin their training, and it's some tough stuff, they must admit. However, what is crazy is that Goku can just heal them on the spot. After they feel spent and worn down, he shoots these translucent balls of red energy their way to heal them. This makes the fighters train significantly harder than they did in the canon timeline. Goku doesn't want to see any of his friends die, and upon training you can see some great potential with Gohan. Upon starting their training, he makes the most progress and therefore he wants to see the unlocking of his latent potential. However, this leads him to be rather grueling and tough with training Gohan. The others don't understand why he's being so hard on him, but Goku knows it's all for a better cause. "Why don't all of these people understand? They're just not on the same page," the Saiyan says in Goku's ear as he's resting from his training. "No, they mean good. I think if they knew what I was trying to do, they'd understand more. I need him to be stronger to protect himself, to protect those around him," Goku states. "To save as many people as possible," Goku furthers. "Yes, Goku, that's the man whose soul I have," the man jokes, making Goku just swing at him as he's trying to just go through the motions of his training. The 3-year break has soon ended, and Goku is watching over the city of Sasebo with his friends. During this time, Goku has made the most progress. The level of training that Goku's managed to maintain is insane. He's basically just continued fighting and healing on the spot. Gohan is stood behind him and Krillin is also close by his side. As Krillin spent more time training, he managed to find more time to cleverly find ways of trying to catch up with the Saiyans and Piccolo. He's grown far more proficient with his Destructor Disc and is already working on his Solar Flare times 100. The power of dazzling people even with their eyes closed is something that he's thought of, and he knows that it's a technique he'd love to add to his arsenal. They all dive into the city of Sasebo, and Yamcha is the first to find the androids just like in the canon timeline. This time he's able to land a single ki blast on Dr. Gero before meeting the same fate that he did in canon. Goku, upon seeing this, is enraged. He doesn't even think twice before trying to fight himself. He doesn't even think of fighting elsewhere. He wants to take this fight and win it now. Lifting one hand, the zombie Vegeta appears out of nowhere and begins smiling like some maniac at the androids. Now this makes Gero intrigued. He saw something like this through his flying B camera and couldn't place a finger on what this was exactly. Vegeta lets out a ghastly scream and charges straight toward the two androids. Dr. Gero falls back to let 19 take this fighter on and they both clash. Now this isn't much of a problem for 19, he just lifts his arms and tanks most of the attacks landing on his body before punching the zombie Vegeta once in his face. This attack knocks him back several meters, but of course he doesn't get affected by this pain any longer. He just continues firing forward and going to attack and taking the damage from 19 with ease. He even gets an energy blast straight through his stomach, but he returns to his feet and the damage to his guts just heals in almost an instant. Power up, provide a challenge, Goku shouts, making Vegeta screech like a ghoul. His hair turns to a golden colour, but his aura remains the pure midnight black that it has been. The zombie Vegeta is now using Super Saiyan. What is going on here, Gero asks, before watching the zombie Vegeta speed blitz 19. He lands a single clean punch to his jaw that he was not ready for whatsoever. Vegeta follows with a series of punches and kicks onto his person. Each attack is swung in with ferocity and true explosion. 19 is too slow and his sensory systems just aren't advanced enough to pick up what's happening. He clearly wasn't built to fight warriors of this caliber. Zombie Vegeta ends up slashing his neck, severing his head clean off before blasting what remains of his body to smithereens. Now this is enough prompt for Gero to try and get as far away from this place as fast as he possibly can. He goes off flying at top speed, leaving the two warriors in the dust. Track him down and do what you must to eliminate him, Goku says to Vegeta, who turns and flies off toward him as fast as he can. Goku then powers up into Super Saiyan himself, catching up to them. What he doesn't notice in this moment is that his body has contracted the heart virus. However, steam starts to flow off his chest as his body goes into overdrive to fight it. He feels a slight stinging pain from his chest as he looks down, and it takes his mind off what's happening for a short moment. However, the pain vanishes seconds later. He can see this steam emitting off his body and can tell that the virus has been dealt with. The zombie Vegeta finds Gero's lab and the other humans are just left in the sky to watch what's happening here. So this universe really is different, Trunks realizes. In this timeline he won't even be born. In front of him is a zombie version of his father, blindly following Goku's command as if he's some form of necromancer. It's terribly weird to see his father in such a state, and it makes him even more frightened by Goku himself to be using such weird demonic powers. He opens the lab and reveals the androids 17 and 18. The two androids try to fight Goku, but Vegeta acts as a loyal guardian, protecting him from the threat. Vegeta, who would have thought you'd end up like this, Android 17 says, before grabbing his hand to slam it into the ground. This makes him screech in pain and wriggle around to try and free himself, but since 17 is just so much stronger than him, he's kept pinned down. Alright Goku, how about you fight yourself? Stop using these minions of yours to do your bidding, 17 states. Fine, follow me, Goku says, before blasting off into the air. 17 and 18 follow, with Vegeta following close by. The other fighters just continue following them until they arrive in a battle wasteland, where the fight can continue. Vegeta is still the one to act as the first line of defense, but there's little that he can do. 17 does have infinite stamina and believes that he'll get the upper hand this way, but from the fight he can see that Vegeta doesn't tire either. Not only that, but whatever injury he incurs vanishes in a matter of seconds. This really begins to put him off. Alright then Goku, enough's enough. I'm not fighting this stupid zombie anymore, 17 roars, stomping its head into the ground. As he does this, the zombie soon fades away into nothing and black smoke floats up from his slightly raised foot. Alright then, you'll regret those words, Goku says, powering up into Super Saiyan with his arms crossed. Blasting forward, he takes both androids off guard and lands a single punch on 17 that sends him completely flying. Before he can crash into the ground, he zooms past him to kick him in the back, catapulting him into the sky. 17 goes flipping and flying like a cannonball shot from a cannon. He can't even make out what's happening around him as the world just keeps spinning around him so fast. Goku then leaps up, smashing his head into his chest to break some of the biological and mechanical components in there. 17 coughs out blood and sparks fly out from certain areas in his chest as he is sent further up. Now it's time for me to get rid of you, Goku declares, before pulling back his hands to charge his ultimate attack. 17 is still shaken up by the assault, and before he knows it, a dark blue energy wave is hurtling his way. All he can do is lift his arms to catch it, and it's a massive impact. He can feel the force throughout his entire body, and he pushes as hard as he can to try and push it back. Even 18 fires up a ki blast at Goku to try and distract him, but as it hits him, it does nothing. Don't interfere, Goku roars, leaving one hand to shoot an energy blast back at 18. It soars down with immense speed, moving way faster than 18's own blasted. All she can do is lift her forearms to block the attack in time and is slammed right into the ground, creating a crater. You're both evil, and I hate evil, Goku roars, before pouring more and more power into his energy wave. It continues to grow in size, and he makes it more and more challenging for 17 to push against it by the second. The blast soon breaks past his hands and engulfs him, destroying what is left of him in the center. As the smoke of the blast fades, nothing is left of 17. 18, who is further below, was just left to watch this as it happened and can barely move her body. It feels rock hard, and she's just left to stare up at the sky as her brother dies. Goku descends until he is left to stand above her, blocking the sun from view. All she can see is his darkened upside down face, with a slight smirk to it as well. Lifting his hand, he blasts her in the face, leaving what remains of her lower body intact. The others are still trying to come to terms with how brutally Goku fights now, but Trunks feels happy to see them go down like that. After seeing the horrors they committed in his timeline, this really does put a smile on his face. As Goku returns to the group, he can feel something in the distance, an unknown strong power. Do you feel that, he asks, before they can even say a word to him. What, like ki? No, I can only feel ours, Krillin states. I sense an unknown ki, but it feels like ours, Goku realizes, as he tries to focus more on it. Trunks is now starting to realize that the heart virus doesn't seem to be affecting him. Based on what Bulma had been told by future Gohan, it was about now when the virus was starting to take its toll on his body. However, he looks just as healthy as he ever had been. Trunks doesn't seem as surprised by this. He's already seen so many things change in this timeline compared to his own. His father is already dead, he is never born, and even more has been altered. Goku extends his arm and the veins on it start to become more pronounced. He grunts with pain upon feeling heavy stress in his arm, and this alerts those around him. Why does this hurt so much, he asks internally. Time stops and the man he was addressing appears. You're trying to summon the androids. It's harder for two reasons. One, they're not fully human anymore. The machine in them has tainted their soul, making it less compatible with the power you have. Second, they're extremely strong. You boost the powers of whoever you kill. If they're somewhat close to your power level, it becomes harder to control them and use them as pawns. Don't worry, it shouldn't be impossible for you though. It'll just take a lot more effort and energy, the demon elaborates. A Super Saiyan zombified Vegeta and the two zombified androids appear. What is weird about their appearance is that there are some parts to their body that seem completely fine and healthy. Their bodies have these plates of normal coloured skin and metallic compartments that haven't been affected by their deaths and reanimation. Go and track down that fighter for me, bring them here. If they aren't a good guy, take them down on the spot, Goku says, letting the three warriors fly off at top speed toward the man. As they fly in a trio, leaving a three-line contrail in the sky, they suddenly stop. Wait, you need to save as many lives as possible. They can't all go and help them, as others will die. How? Goku asks, a little annoyed. The Saiyan this time doesn't have a witty remark to his question. Now this makes Goku seriously concerned. Was he lying to him? No, he's always seemed like a great person with the best for people at the top of his mind. Of course his powers are quite ugly and dark in nature, but who cares if they're used for a benevolent purpose? Wait, I can explain, he replies shortly after. Don't tell me you've been lying, Goku says, pointing straight at him. He can't believe this. As the thoughts start to come to his mind of the times he let innocents die, his emotions begin to flare up. Wait, I haven't been lying but just withholding some information from you, and I'm sorry for that. The power that you have, that you use to save people, is powered by the life force of creatures. Just as Goku goes into rebut, the man lifts his finger. Wait, I'm not finished. I've lived far longer than you, and I've seen that saving people means that some people must be lost at a cost. The real power that you need to protect the world, the power I have given you, draws power from the very minuscule number of lives that are unfortunately lost. Trust me, you cannot save everyone without my power. This time, surprisingly, Goku doesn't give a remark. He's still emotional, lost in his own head, but doesn't seem infuriated by what's about to happen. I saved your life from Vegeta. Without my power, Frieza would be alive and be killing more people. Krillin would have died. You wouldn't have been able to revive your son, Gohan. The androids would have been created and wreaked havoc beyond your imagination. This is the only way, Goku. Follow me and everyone will be saved, the Saiyan says, placing a hand on his shoulder. More than 15 seconds pass as Goku continues to look forward, clouded by so many thoughts as he is deep in contemplation. Fine, I believe you. I trust you, Goku replies. Thank you, Goku. You're closer than I expected. To what? Goku asks. To helping those that need your help, the man claims, before vanishing. The others believe those fighters have gone to fight the man that Goku has identified, but instead they watch as he devours numerous humans. All these zombies do is wait, and wait for Goku's call to step in. During this time, Goku just waits himself, for the demon Saiyan to give him the call. So that will conclude the second part to What If Goku Became a Demon. Please tell me something you liked about this part or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.